Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. I'm Charles Van Horn alongside Brian in front Foley. It's the first home football game of the season for your Mendota Trojans. Before we get into that, let's talk about last week. Tough contest on the road against Morrison. Trojans did not have any luck at all, unfortunately, in that big blowout loss. Coach had some things to say about it, and I think our observation is young team, and we just got to keep trying.
Yeah. So number one, your first day of contact, of real contact, and a lot of these guys are sophomores. So you're stepping on the field with seniors, and it showed up. So they had a week to practice, a week to get better. So we'll see where that takes them this week, and we're going to see improvement. So
taking on the Orion Chargers. Chargers coming off a big home win against Hall High School.
Yep, 20-14. We haven't been able to see a lot of stats from the game, so still trying to dig those up. I know that the Chargers have been a throwing team in the past, so we'll see if they're continuing to do that this year or what they're going to bring to the table. But, yeah, a good win against Spring Valley.
Weather tonight is beautiful. Of course, this contest preceded by a Mendota soccer game, which Mendota handily won. So that's great news. Starting off, the home crowd already fired up for that. We talked to Coach Keegan Hill before tonight's contest. By Coach Keegan Hill ahead of tonight's contest against the Chargers. Before we get into what we're going to be facing tonight, let's talk about last week. I know we tried to accentuate the positives, but this is a young team, and you guys left a lot of opportunities out there on that field.
Yeah, week one, you don't know, what you're in for until you do it. So a lot of young guys getting put into situations that they're experiencing for the first time, and the growing pains that go with it. We had a chance to learn from it and grow from week one to week two.
You guys, I'm sure, studied the film, saw a lot of those missed opportunities, and especially on defense. What adjustments are you making this week to try to slow the Chargers down so they don't do what the Mustangs did to you last week?
Well, you need to have an edge on the defense. If you let the ball get to the edge without anything there, things go badly real quick. So having an edge on the defense so we can bottle up the runner for everybody else to do their job is number one.
Now, for the offense, we didn't get to see much of the offense execute as well as we'd like. There were some bright spots here and there. How do you think the offense is progressing so far?
Similar to the growing pains on defense, offense had just as many. We want to protect the quarterback better so we can utilize his skills and the receiver skills. It's three pieces to the puzzle, and we need all three to work tonight.
What do you tell the younger players on the team, especially the juniors and the sophomores that have been pulled up? What do you tell those boys to keep their heads up high while you get through this growing pains here in the first couple of games of this year?
Well, it's an experience. If somebody just walked up to us right now and threw us in the deep end of the pool with no floaties, like what would you do? So that's kind of the scenario they're in. So we want to see who's going to try to swim, who's going to learn to swim, who's going to help the other people learn to swim. All those different scenarios can present themselves. So we're aware that's where they are. They're aware that that's how we feel, and we want to see them grow and mature week to week.
What new face on the team impressed you last week?
Multiple sophomores, played multiple roles, but Gavin Evans, as a sophomore, led us in tackles, so he did a nice job. Offensive line-wise, Joe Stewart held his own at center, and those would be the two that come to mind at the moment.
One thing I did notice in the game, one takeaway, was very disciplined. No offsides, really, not a lot of penalties in that regard. They've got the fundamentals in place to avoid at least some of those costly mistakes.
Yeah, the pre-snap stuff, we did a nice job. They got us offsides on one hard count, but those little things do add up. So, finding the silver lining on that is good.
Now, you guys haven't faced the Chargers before. What do you know about this team?
Historically, a good program. Middle of the conference or higher historically. So they started off 1-0 by beating Hall. Let's see. Quarterback is a sophomore who started as a freshman last year, and 80 to 90% of the roster after that, or the significant contributors, are juniors and seniors. So it'll be a good test for us, and we're ready to take it on.
All right. Thanks for talking with us, Coach. Go get them.
Thanks. Go Trojans.
Tonight, your Mendota Trojans going to be taking on the Orion Chargers. We'll have that game for you kickoff around 6:50 on WGLC. You can listen on your radio or listen online streaming. And, Brian, I have to say, light wind, plenty of sun. This is going to be a great game on the turf.
Yeah. Definitely better temperatures than last week. So, yep, get on out here. It's going to be a nice night. Food smells good, the pizza, the popcorn. And we're going to be giving away some free passes, I think.
Yeah, we do have some passes to give away for the sandwich fair. Shh. So be sure to stop into the game. Yeah, it was going to be a big secret. You ruined the big secret.
Take two.
No, we won't do that. We'll just leave this and let it run. So tonight, your Mendota Trojans taking on the Chargers. Come out to Mendota High School. Enjoy a great night for football and some amazing popcorn. How about that?
Pizza.
Delicious, fresh. Hot dogs, Snickers.
Marshall.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff here. See, look at all that stuff. So that's what's happening here tonight at Mendota High School. I'm Charles Van Horn for Brian Infant Foley here on Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Our broadcast tonight, of course, brought to you by our friends at Schweiker, Gannison, Kurzak, and Rendio Injury Attorneys. There, see?
Yeah.
Now, how much popcorn can we steal?